And welcome back, Smite fans, to Casual Friday. We are still joined, of course, with Gore, J-Mac, Lermy, and the host of this segment, Trelli. And we are going to be sitting here. Why are you laughing at me already?
No, because I was just thinking, like, I've been hosting here at this company for the longest of anyone here, and yours was way smoother and cleaner than my intro was.
I mean,
and to see that,
I don't think
make sure
that
you watch the other segment.
Yeah, I don't think that the amount of you know, candor to your intro really goes off of, what's the word?
Tenure.
Tenure. There it is. Thank you. As you can see,
Shelly's just saying I'm trash and I've been trash the whole time.
You've been trash. But
we didn't want to tell you, Gore.
We have made some tier lists for Smite 1. Many a tier list. I've made far too many, but I've never made a Smite 2 tier list. So what I'm going to be doing here with my couch guests is we have all the Smite 2 roster that is currently available, and we are going to be doing a fun tier list, meaning this is not how good they are, how bad they are. This is specifically how much fun we have when playing them. There is no zero fun. This is just, you know, there's got to be a lowest and there's got to be a highest. Just so we understand each other. And the way I figured it, I would, you know, present a god. You guys can discuss, but I get the final say because I have the mouse and you guys are children. So,
honestly, all right, you had me in the first half.
All right.
First up, we have On Her. How fun is On Her, guys?
Oh, this is tough.
I think On Her for me is a solid like B tier. Like I'm never having a bad time playing On Her, but I don't have like the most fun playing him.
I think On Her, when you're talking about hunters though, the ones that we have,
Right.
he's got to be at least A.
Yeah, I don't think
At least
It's A for On Her.
I'm not putting On Her lower than A.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Unless I got 2 B or lowers, and since we only have J-Mag, unless Gore says it, I can't even discuss this
I was
here.
thinking, well, that's because when you said B, I was like, I'd get like B plus A minus, like that range.
Yeah,
like,
that's fair.
okay.
where I think he's fun. I think the issue I have playing On Her is that I haven't got most of the games we played in Smite 2 have not let me get to the point where I can then feel the full impact of being on
Also
her.
take this from the guy that tries to play anything possible in support role.
Yeah, everything I've seen J-Mac play has been support.
J-Mac's doing a support tier list. The rest of us are having fun.
When I'm not,
J-Mac can have his own tier.
when I'm not going crazy with you guys there, like whenever I was like playing on my own, I was playing like all different roles.
Next
and
week we'll do it
whatnot,
again, but it'll be J-Mac's Smite 2 support tier list. It'll be the exact same gods listed on there.
So, okay, is there any argument for On Her to be an S?
Nah.
No,
Okay.
I think he's good and he's fun.
Well, we can listen. This is not final. We can structure the rest of the list. I do think that as far as hunters go, On Her is the most fun available for sure.
I have
yeah,
two
he might be
gods.
He might be most fun hunter character that's in the game right now, but I don't know if he's like in the highest tier of fun.
Right. And to be clear, there are no classes in Smite 2. I'm just saying, like, the typical cast that we know as hunters. Neith is a mage, as far as I'm concerned, like in Smite 2.
I have 3 gods on the list that I know, like, in my mind, those are, like, my S tiers. And so I'm kind of comparing everybody to that.
Yeah,
Right.
I've got a few in that same regard. I have my lowest and I have my highest.
What I'm excited is for this one, because this is the one that's going to be that people disagree with. I have so much fun playing Anubis. It's so crazy. He's one of my S's.
Anubis is my 8.
I love playing this guy.
I can't justify him higher than C.
Wow. It's so fun. You mummy rat people. You throw your hands.
I love Smite 1 Anubis. Smite 2 Anubis is a bit of a different story, right? Because it's just a different atmosphere of the way that you play the game. I'm also just a person that's very biased against characters that don't have movement abilities.
That's
My
fair.
boy has to walk around.
All right,
Yeah.
so Larmy says C. Gore says S. J-Mac, where are you?
I'm in a weird like
crazy how
in
Larry's
between
wrong.
A B where I don't know if he's like what would be my bottom of A or my top of B. I probably push him a little closer to B.
All right.
I'm okay with B.
Y'all don't know how to have fun, bro.
All right.
No, I kind of feel where Larmy's coming from on in Smite 1. He's really fun. Like I love playing that.
Here's what you do.
I think with
you can't move, you just kill him. You kill him dead.
I think since there's
That's his
less
thing.
access to lifesteal in Smite 2 than Smite 1, that's where some of my fun gets nuts because I love just the full glass cannon. I hit one ability, all of my HP is back kind of in Smite 1. Smite 2, you don't get that
I
same
can see
feel.
that. There's a bit more of a constructed build in Smite 1, and there's also just more access to farm, which makes it a little bit easier for Anubis to actually get to where he wants to be in terms of his build. And that's not to say like Smite 2 doesn't have characters that can do that, or that Smite 2 is missing that. That's just the difference right now between Smite 1 and Smite 2, is that characters that can get around to farm have a much easier time of scaling and doing all that, and Anubis just isn't one of those characters.
All right. So
Okay,
we're-
but go out 180, hit somebody with your stun, and then get back to me.
It is really fun. It is fun to have your
And
stuff
hey,
off.
Again?
Hey! She said it's fun. Up.
Again,
I got it. Hey, I win.
for example, E tier is not no fun. It is just less fun than this. These are all fun characters.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
bottom does not mean they're not fun.
This is like if we're loading into a game of Smite, this is our order of operations for who's available for I want to have some fun.
Yeah.
Right.
And very specifically, I have to say, I'm not going on good.
Yeah.
Hey.
This
I
is
do
just how
factor
we-
good into my...
This is just
Lermy's like, if they're not good, they're not fun.
my classification for an S tier character of fun is no matter what, if I'm winning or losing, this is a fun character to play.
Yeah, I will say-
Where an E tier is like I'm not really having a whole lot of fun even when I'm winning, and when I'm losing, I'm miserable kind of thing.
Oh, that's
I
where
will-
I'd put
I will
That's
say-
kind of how I classify my S to E.
All right. So what about Ares? then?
Ares is an S.
I think I agree. I think Ares is my first S.
I'd say for me, Smite 1, Ares, S tier any day, probably S+. Smite 2, I think he's top of A tier for me, but I'm willing to also bump him to S.
I think Smite 1 Ares is actually like closer to a C for me. I think all of the changes that Smite 2 made has improved this character unbelievably much.
I agree. I am a Smite 2 Ares believer.
I think I still need to get used
Or
to
what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'll give him S. He's a
All
good
right.
boy.
Our
I
first
think S
S
is fine.
tier,
Also realizing that means I had 4 gods that I want to put in.
and that's okay.
Ares wasn't on that original list.
All right. We've
And now
got.
2 of them are gone.
Yep.
Who's gonna be the next one? You'll never know.
Well, let's figure out
Keep watching to find out.
What about Athena?
Comment who you think
I'm
my S
sitting in
tiers are gonna
A,
be.
and the only reason that I'm not sitting in S is because there's still a little jank that we're trying to work out with the taunt. We're trying to get that
Yeah.
into a spot where we feel good, but that is the only part about Athena that I don't love. This character is one of my favorites in Smite 1.
Yeah, crit Athena jungle is a new level of euphoria that I never
That
thought
is
I could.
very
Point.
true.
I will admit that I've been very stuck in my ways with Athena.
Uh-huh.
The issue I always run into, and now that you've said it out loud, I think I need to try a crit Athena jungle.
You do.
Because like
if you're playing full,
Crit
to
Athena is
my
so
be
fun.
clear, if you're
My
playing
issue-
full tank support Athena, you are not going to be have as much fun as what I'm.
Yeah.
I have so much fun doing that. What do you mean?
well, the problem I
Sure.
have with that is that it always depends on like who's behind you.
I guess. I
I
don't know.
like my
Take
like
it in
I
your
can
own hands.
I can 4-man taunt, and if I don't got at least one person that's good behind me, it's ruined.
All right, so
I'll give her
I'm willing to say A as
A.
well.
I think A is fair.
I think
J-Mac?
A is fine.
Got-
for her.
I
don't-
gotta
I don't have
ask a
as much-
legitimate question. Do we have any? Does anybody have people who they think are actually going to go in C or lower? I know you
Yes.
tried to do Anubis in C or lower.
I've
I
got
have some
two.
opinions.
All right,
Okay,
we'll
I
get.
just want to make sure because I was like, this is going to be a real stacked tier
No,
list.
I've-
Turns out we all just have fun playing Smite.
I've
too.
got one E and at least one D.
All right, what about Bacchus?
that guy is fun.
Boggs is ass. I love
I-
this god.
I don't know if I'd give him S, but I'd
I-
give him an A.
I love Bacchus.
I
I've
want to
been
tell a
Bacchus
story about my
All right,
Bacchus
uh,
journey.
Let's hear,
Bacchus
Lermy.
is real fun.
Bacchus was one of my least played characters in Smite 1 until
Okay.
recently, and you can say least played.
Wait, I'm gonna hover him based on what I think Lermy say.
etc.
Okay.
For the longest time, and then I had a period where I was playing with a group of people. I was playing support the whole time, and I was learning. Oh, so this is why people play Bacchus. Because at one point I was like, I have to use my leap to engage. That's not very cool. My stun takes forever to go off. That's not very cool. But he gets so many other bonuses
Uh-huh.
from getting crunk, which is awesome. You love that.
Right.
He's just a fun guy to play. I've opened up a lot to him, and I think a lot of the improvements that he got in Smite 2 have helped him out quite a bit, to where I've warmed up a bit to the old buddy.
The
All
old
right,
match.
based on your story, I'm saying you're hovering at a B.
That is where. Yeah,
That's what I
that's what
figured.
I-
Okay.
S tier for me.
S
I
tier
love-
for J-Mac, so
I've been a day one Smite 1 Bacchus enjoyer, and Smite 2 is just
It's
similar
no different.
feels. Yeah.
Okay. All right, we're still an A then, Gore.
I was gonna give A because I like
Okay.
this guy. Like, I'm gonna tell you, when I think of having fun as a support, there's some gods that come to my mind. First off, Crit Bacchus is also really funny,
yeah.
just because the way
Yeah.
his
It is
attack
really
chain is.
funny.
Yep.
But like just belly flopping fools is real fun.
Yep.
Jug bonus damage swing.
All right, then I will give you.
And then you get the crit.
I will,
Yep.
Top of that
we will decide at A then. Bologna, and please remember her 2, how it feels and how it looks in Smite 2. Oh, so good. The bludgeon is just fantastic.
This is a hard one.
How are we feeling about Bologna?
All right.
This is one of my lower ones.
Well,
Like,
here's the
I'm-
thing. I'm going to say this as someone who loves Bologna. Like, she is one of my favorite gods just in general. She's still probably like a B, though.
Okay, like a B.
Yeah, I
like-
generally agree with that.
I like her.
I'm
I
gonna-
love her a lot. I love playing her.
I'm gonna mark her as
She's not more fun than the others.
When it comes to, like, the Warriors, Bologna was never really one of my favorites in Smite 1. Smite 2, I gave her, the fair shake that she deserves, but I just haven't really
Somebody put the Smite 2
enjoyed
series.
Bologna as much. I would say she's probably my first C tier character.
Okay.
She just,
Yeah, I think
she just has this feel to her that doesn't quite feel there for me.
Some parts of playing Bologna, especially with the way that minion knockback is, not totally done yet. I think
Yeah.
that's a huge part
That's
of how you
probably some
play
of it.
Bologna. And because that's not fully working yet, Bologna probably feels worse because she really heavily plays around that. So once those features start to come in, and again, every single one of these gods, we're still revisiting and improving, right? So this is just being totally, completely honest about where they're at right now and how they feel. Our goal is hopefully that everyone can find someone in an S tier, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
if we're being completely honest, there are just parts of Bologna that are not feature complete. And so I would agree that she belongs a little bit lower, but I don't know if C feels right. I'm in between B and C.
To be fair, I've opened up chat and I've seen someone call out for S on pretty much every character we've said so far. So even
Well,
though,
that's good.
yeah, even though we're
That
not the
makes me
ones
happy.
finding S for
think
everything,
it was funny because
there's someone out there for
Bacchus
everyone.
came up and there was like C, B, D, and then J-Mac went S. I'm like, well,
That's
he's
the thing with a game
everywhere,
like this.
as it
It's
turns
like
out.
Smite 1, Smite 2, like, not everybody is going to like somebody. Or not everybody is going to like everyone, but somebody is going to have a favorite for every single god out there.
I mean, look at that Anubis. He's sitting lonely in B. He's one of my S's.
All right,
I love that guy.
let's go to CERN.
Oh, Trelli, you agree with Bologna C?
Oh, sorry. What? So what was
We
that?
were hovering between B and C.
Okay.
I don't know.
Lermy was like B minus C
Yeah,
plus.
I'm in a B
J-Mac was
minus
C.
boat.
I
I'm
was
like
B.
a hard C right now on her.
Gore, where are you at?
I was B. So yours is like the final decision on whether she is B or C.
Oh, I see. Well, I just said I see, but I think I B. Yeah, I B.
B for Bologna.
I B.
That's fair.
I don't
Alright.
see I B. All right.
Cernunos.
CERN.
This would be my S tier hunter if not for the 2. The 2 is my one, like, negative of him.
Okay.
That puts him slightly lower. Otherwise, CERN is my highest rated hunter.
That's crazy because CERN, even
I
in Smite
love
1,
this
I just
god.
like
I love
I'm-
CERN.
I don't like playing
This
him.
is my favorite hunter.
his ult's fun.
in Smite to play.
I like
especially
that
when
his
he's not
horns get
meta.
real big in the dash now.
Yeah, that's
It does
cool.
look really good. I will say, in terms of visuals, every character has had an improvement,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And Kronos has had a really big one, especially with the changing seasons, all the colors, and how that looks. That's really awesome. But when it comes to the gameplay, I do think that he falls a little bit lackluster just compared to the other gods. And I think a lot of that has to do with some of his scalings. He has a lot of int scalings, but he is a
Yeah.
hunter, and you don't really want to build him ability hunter.
You want to smack people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think there's just a little bit off in the balance there that makes him just feel not as great. He doesn't have that same level of poke because, again, the poke scales with int. It's not something that he really wants to build. So I think when we get those things figured out, he goes up a ton.
I do like
But
the
I'm
right now,
saying
he's
C.
not amazing.
The
I'm
scaling
okay with
adjustments
C.
of this one I do love.
That is really cool.
I'm saying A, but wherever y'all put him is wherever y'all put him.
I
Alright.
would be okay with C or B.
All right, so if we got 2 C's and A, I'll go with B as well, so we can meet there in the middle. These the Bologna and the CERN do seem like a B minus C plus sort of area though, just based on what you guys are saying. Chalk. This is my dude. I love some Chalk.
I should abstain from this one because I would say E. I hate this game.
Chalk is
Lermy
so
does
good.
hate chalk.
I
Lermy's
hate
a Chalk
Chalk
hater.
so
I think,
much.
I think B. I think Chalk is in a really solid place, but
Gore, come on, meet me at give me an A at least. Like Chalk is so fun right now.
Yeah, I'll give you the A. He has
All
real
right,
fun.
guys, you got to build him damage. Don't
Build him
Yeah,
damage.
Don't be
you can't
tanky
include
boy
my
Chalk.
score in this
Smack
one.
people 1-2, and it's so funny watching those Neath idiots just get their entire health bar deleted.
Those neat idiots.
I will say there was a very funny point in an old play test. This was before it got like to the full public. It was more of the private ones. There was a very funny bug where his rain blocked all auto attacks, and he was really fun there to run at every carry
Yeah,
player
because he was broken.
because he was broken.
I'm gonna be honest. I feel like he
We should
blocks
bring that
auto
back.
attacks when I play him, anyways. Man, I feel like I'm
Well,
never dying.
also
on
if
Chalk.
it was also if he threw the axe and then used the rain.
Make him take
both
double
his
damage.
rain and the axe's rain would block. So you could literally just stand in front of like the Phoenix line with your axe next to you and just block all auto attack. It's very
Yeah.
funny,
I-
broken and not intended, but funny.
I just can't. I can't be taken into account for this one because I hate Chalk and I hate playing against Chalk. I'm sorry.
If we were taking Lermy into consideration,
Lermy,
you'd be
it's gonna
C.
just so you know, it's gonna rain on your house every day forever now.
Yeah.
That's
It
okay. I
already
don't go
has
outside.
been. It has been raining every day.
Yeah, good point. For like 3 weeks.
Good lord.
What about the rear?
S.
I love the dog.
S.
S for the dog. What about Lermy?
I'm going to say A. I don't think
A
he
for the
feels
dog?
as crisp as Ares does, because Ares just feels like every single cylinder is hitting. I don't feel that same exact way, but I do think that he is very good.
You know what? I'm going to have to be honest. I think I have to abstain from this one strictly because I've not played Smite 2 Fenrir yet.
All right, I need to.
Because every time I lock in, I don't think of Fenrir.
hold on. I need to read this out loud. Fenrir is S, just for the role play alone. If you ain't barking, you ain't doing it, right? Dash Lewis.
Okay, wait, that is a good point. When Lewis was playing Fenrir, I was Anubis. We were just dogs.
Yep.
Out there barking around.
All right, so
So-
we got S, we got A. Gore is abstaining, and I think I'm gonna give.
Put him at the front of A.
Yeah, I think. Okay, yeah, sure. We'll put him. I want to put him here. I think on her smurf one. I'll put him here.
Are we? Well,
This
we'll
doesn't
order
matter.
it tiers later.
This
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
Actually, yeah, let's order tiers at the end.
Yeah, we'll order at the
Order
end. Yeah, love myself the Fenrir, but I think you got to earn a certain level of fun to hit S tier, and you're not quite there.
It's close. It's really.
I don't be
I-
barking. Maybe that's why. Maybe
I think
should
my
start
secondary
barking.
is that I also play him a lot support, and he feels so much better in support than he does some of his other roles.
Uh-huh.
This god is fun as support.
Okay, I'm gonna be real with you guys. This guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
This guy.
Because when you get the right itemization, you're double dashing on him.
Listen, don't think what it feels like to play against him. Think about when someone beads as your ult and then you
Here's-
dash and chase them. When you staff a mirror and
Here's
dash
my
and chase
take.
them again. Come on.
Here's my take. Smite 1 Hades, and this might offend some people, and I'm very sorry if it
Oh,
does.
shoo.
Smite 1 Hades is F tier. It's not even on
I
the
am
chart.
sleeping
Oh,
on
yeah.
Smite
I don't
180s.
like playing
Yeah, I ain't
Smite 1
touching that
Hades.
god.
He's
Yeah.
only good in
10-foot
like
pole.
assault.
Even then, I don't even think
And
he's
even
good.
then-
Even then,
You
I'm
don't
hoping
want
that I
him.
didn't
My
use my
teammates killed the wave, and I'm like, please let me heal you.
Yeah,
then
but,
I'm
where
begging I
are
didn't
you
double
going with
reroll.
this, Larry?
He has had such an
glow up?
overwhelmingly massive improvement in Smite 2 that it has sincerely impressed me. That being said, I can't put him in S. I can't.
Okay, so where are you putting him?
I'm willing to put him in B.
Okay, Lermy is willing to put B. J-Mac?
I'm an S tier on here, and I think
S.
it's because his.
Or, we got 3 S's? Okay,
I
Lermy
think-
got denied.
I think it's because of his potential.
It's chalk all over
fun.
again.
I think if you just play him standard, don't think about what you're building, just auto build, go through. He's still a lot of fun. The change to his ultimate, the level of potential fun
yeah.
you can have with him if you go mirrored in combat blink is through the roof, and I think that's what makes him one of the most fun gods in the game.
Yep, and I'm going to go ahead and just start this conversation.
Yeah, nope. That
Oh,
is
yeah.
my number one S tier.
I
Number one
love
god in the game for me.
her ultimate so much. I think it's a lot of fun.
It's so much.
One thing that I will say,
Her shield is also very fun.
she got no movement. And I'm a non-movement
You
hater.
can ult yourself.
Ult yourself.
You know how long it takes?
The look Lermy just gave. You
know how long it takes to ult, bro?
Okay, I didn't watch. I casted the EU finals of our Alpha Weekend 4 tournament, and I watched, well, it was Johnny, but it was Angry on that account. And he used that ult for movement many a times. He used it to get over walls. Anytime he was getting dove, he just zoomed out. Like, it takes a bit of getting used to, but using the ult and your shield movement speed is, she got the movement, but I understand what you're saying.
Yes,
she
that's
can,
my
She can
bias.
get dove, and the one gripe I have with Hekate is that her shield is magical damage only.
Yeah,
that is so infuriating. That listen.
I keep forgetting about it.
It should be magical damage only when you're shielding your teammates. When it's you should get a real shield. I died to minions, and I had 200 health shield. And everyone's like, it's magical damage only. I'm like, why?
It was so funny. It happened during like one of our streams as well, where like you shield somebody. It's just like, oh, I got my shield. You died. It's like, it's magic damage.
I understand as a mage, you shouldn't be doing damage to someone and shielding them for that much. I get that entirely. But the shield that I put on myself should shield me against Odin damage and Loki damage and Fenrir damage. It's infuriating.
I think just on kit alone, not taking into account any of the crazy shenanigans you can do with build.
Yep.
I think that her kit is one of the most fun kits
Ever.
that has been introduced in any of the Smite verse.
Yep.
Between Smite 1 and Smite 2.
Cooking.
The amount of outplay and crazy shenanigans you can pull with the ultimate is a lot of fun. The shield is great. The swap between her first ability, whether it just be damage amplifier or CC, is awesome. It gives you a little bit of extra level of play there. And I just like throwing the orb out in the middle of like a lane and just being like, all right, cool. I'll come back when this thing's full charge and just blast you for 800 damage.
Yep, J-Mac, you know, me and you don't always see eye to eye on the fun department, but you're spitting right now.
Yeah, and look, we did it during the during the stream last week. Teleport somebody in with the ultimate, Cersei's Hexstone, pig on them.
Big O mode, Pig O mode.
Pigo, teleport in, easy peasy.
All right, and again, as I say for all these tier lists, please listen to what we say, not just the ranking. Lermy is actively against some of these placements, and she gave her reasoning for them. So
none of these are because I don't think the god has merit in terms of you are allowed to enjoy whatever god you want.
Yeah.
This is just my very unabashed, very biased opinion.
Right,
And there are people in Smite 1 who love running it down as Vamana every single day of the week, every single game they play. Not Lermy.
right, so
Well, I learned actually.
Oh, the learned.
Where were you gonna put Hecate?
I was gonna say A minus.
Okay.
Minus?
that's good. Yeah, so
Oh, that's still fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's still fine.
all right. What about Cuckoo? For me,
This is my.
He's literally-
You know what?
yeah.
Go for it. I'll let y'all start.
I'm putting Cuckoo at the lower half of the list.
I'm saying C.
yeah, I don't.
Cuckoo.
Feeling a C
The-
too.
It's very standard,
Yeah.
very normal. I'm not queuing up a Smite 2 game to play.
Him and
Yeah.
Kern sit in the same place in my brain with Smite 2.
I'm throwing him D tier for me.
D tier, even lower. Okay.
The only
This
reason
is
I
not-
played Cuckoo was because me and you were doing tests.
Yep. Yep.
This is not my lowest ranked god. I do have one that is lower, but this is my number 2 least fun god to play. I have not. I'll be honest. Anytime we load up Smite 2,
number
outside of like my initial like, hey, I'm gonna try out all the gods. This is like the one god I just like brain off, don't even think about in the
Yeah.
game.
He's a fun character when you're not trying to think about it, when you're just trying to load up a game, grind
Yeah.
some worshippers, whatever.
Yeah,
but
he'll be
if
a
you're playing
worship
for
grind.
fun,
Yep.
yeah, I don't
Yeah,
really see
he'll,
that.
he'll be one I get in there and get the worshippers, run Ascension Pass kind of stuff for him. But like, even with the dash added to it, it just doesn't feel like. And I think this is also true for Smite 1, and this is as somebody who got this god to like rank 10 in like his first 3 gods.
Yep. Me too.
Yeah, me too.
I played a lot of him because he was easy to play. You go into ranked and you don't got to worry about dying a whole lot.
He's very simple, and
He
he's
is a-
very good for a certain crowd of people.
He is a fantastic god to intro you into that role.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a fair and valid criticism of him, is he is a great, simple god that I would recommend anybody to at least give a try if you want to play in that role to kind of get an idea of how it is. But I'm probably not queuing this god anytime soon.
All right, here we get to the hot takes. Guys, I have so much fun playing Loki. The invis reset may be the best.
It does feel really
yeah.
good.
It may be
That's a good change.
It may be the most
You
fun.
are
I have.
evil.
I am so evil, and that's the thing. I'm not thinking. I guarantee the people that play against me, they're not having this much fun, but I am. Dude, Loki is my S tier. This is the most fun god in Smite.
I think an A for me.
I would put him in C.
I wasn't gonna say yes. That's.
I have listen.
little
I
much.
drop 20 kills constantly in arena just because I kill someone, go invis, run away, and they're like, "Where's bro at?" And I'm like, "I'm coming back. Just give me a second."
I think A tier is a solid place.
So
for
we
me.
got an
I
S,
would
an
say
A,
like,
a C.
I'd say he's like middle of A tier for me.
All right.
The reason why I feel like I do is because me personally, I like to play characters that like get it done. You know what I mean?
He gets
Loki
it
is a character that sure he may get it done, but he's got to be sneaky about it. I just want to run at them.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't want to
I get
have to
that.
play
I-
sneaky mind games. I just want to run at people and destroy them.
I get ridiculous enjoyment out of just making everyone wonder where I am, and then just leave.
Shelly sitting behind his computer.
And then
This is his gremlin for Smite.
yeah,
2.
this is my Smite 2 gremlin 100%. And then because it used to be you would stealth in, do all your damage, and then ult out. Like that was
Yeah,
your
and then die.
or you would blink in, do all your damage, and then try and you would die. Now you don't have to make that decision. You can stealth in, do all your damage, ult to kill, stealth out. And that interaction there has made all the difference. I hate Loki.
it has
Like,
been an improvement. I will say, it's definitely an improvement from where I would put him in Smite 1, but
Right.
it's just not my style.
Okay, so Laramie said C, I said S, Gore said A, and J-Mac said A?
I'm like A B. Like I'm in that weird middle area.
Yeah,
so
I think solid A for Loki.
A's.
for me.
Yeah, A's. I can.
I'm much
All right.
more willing to load
reset
up and play
makes us
So it
Loki.
feel
seems
so
like B
good.
plus is where we're landing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm,
He's in a
I'm-
good spot. I like
way
where he's
more,
at.
I'm way more willing to load up and play Loki in Smite 2 than I probably ever will in Smite 1.
All right, so we'll give him the bottom of A, but just know that I have him here.
B.
Neath, you said B for Neath.
I like playing Neath, but she's just still, she's just Neath.
Yeah,
I
I think B for me.
The-
I
and
would put
I'm
her in
gonna
A.
say-
I was gonna put another S tier for
The
Neath.
reason-
Oh wait, you're right.
The
I should
reason
win
why-
husband points. S tier.
The reason why I won't put her in S right now is because of the interaction with her backflip where she doesn't slide along the walls. That is stopping me at this very moment
But
from
you can
saying,
go
You know what? She
over
would have been.
walls.
She
That's
would have been.
cool.
well, you can do both.
She would have been S if
What if
we
you could do both?
left
That's
the
fair.
weave on her back.
And that's something that we are actively working on, by the way. That's like one thing that I was like, as someone who has 5 stars underneath, That's one of the things that I'm really pushing for. Neath mains, I got you, okay?
I have so much fun on Neath,
I
but
love
hold on. We got B from Gore,
B for me.
B for J-Mac. Lermy says A, and I say S. All right, I guess we meet.
so A.
I guess we meet at A. Surely ahead of Loki, though. We're gonna bump her up.
Bro, I will say, getting backflip style points. Actually, at this point, she's more fun, like, because style points is always fun. But being able to use your 2 for more than just, hey, I need a heal. And
two-
actually, like,
The 2 is
set
what
a
I
weave
max now. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you can actually plan and play around that. Like, that feels so good.
Yes, and not have to use your movement ability. Very nice.
Yeah,
Me
that's
before
a
trying
big-
to be
a
like,
big
well,
one.
I guess
Me
I'm just
walking
gonna
up to
have
wave
my
and
backflip
backflipping.
so that I can get it.
All right. How about Odini?
I would say
Alright.
B.
I am not too attached to Odini.
I'm gonna.
I really don't.
Look,
I'm so nonplussed, which I guess means bottom half.
So I mentioned how
You have a
Cuckoo was
lower god than
my
Cuckoo?
number 2, and I
Yeah.
guess still got one lower. That's Odin.
Okay,
Odin
so
is
right
my-
now we're like here. Gore.
I'm at an E
Yeah,
tier.
I'm like C, D,
I feel like C is
which I
fair.
realize is completely
Yeah.
unhelpful for what
Odin-
you.
I'll go C as well.
It's actually funny how this works because I lost track of time in development which game did it first in terms of removing the third pulse of the 3.
I think it was 1 and then 2 followed.
Technically, Smite 2 did it first.
Oh,
It was just never announced because the game wasn't out.
That's that is actually extremely fair.
So I think that Smite 2 does deserve some credit for doing that because that was epic, awesome, very cool. Odin is just a character that's very standard. He's got one very specific way of playing him. You know what I mean? You just
Yeah.
kind of want to spam your shield, spam your jump, put people in cages, and I think inherently that is a lot of fun. In Arena, I love doing that. I love playing Odin, and believe me, he is a secret OPOP character in ranked to play in support. You just run around, put people in cages, and they just die. It's awesome. In Smite 2 right now, I do think that he is just a little bit lackluster, but he's got some interesting scalings. Like, I think that he could be a very interesting hybrid character if we continue to, adjust our scaling system a little bit more. He could be someone that could go a little bit of strength, a little bit of int, maybe some more, like, protection, health, or cooldown scaling could be really cool on him.
Right.
So something like that I think could work a lot. But he's just not at a spot where I'm like, I want to play Odin every game.
Yeah, I haven't tried a full cooldown Odin just yet. Maybe that will sway me a bit. But so far in the games that I've played Odin, I'd put him as my 0 or my number 1 least fun god. So he's my E tier, but I'm willing to at least mentally allow him to be in tiers higher for other folks. He's just
I think C is fair.
Yeah.
he's just never really been my cup of tea in any iteration of him.
Well,
Better
what
be.
about Soul? You guys played some Crit Soul yet?
Yeah, Crit Soul's very fun.
I'm sitting in A.
I think it's just B for me.
Okay.
I was
A,
also
B.
gonna say
There's just
A.
something about Soul in general that like hasn't really clicked for me.
Man, it's so weird because I love Soul's ult and I hate Soul's ult all in one go. And I really like, I almost don't know how to put it into words because like I really like it because it's unique. You've got like the painter target, you can chase people, trace it down, stuff like that. But then also I'm just kind of like, bruh, I just want to see big number.
I will say something that Laramie touched on during r/Smite, the fact that you either want to commit to building her strength, then your abilities don't do as much, but you want to use intelligence, but then your autos don't hit as much. That is probably that may be holding her back from A tier for me.
That's for me as well.
If I could get value on my autos and abilities without having to go halfsies, then I think that would be a little bit more enjoyable. But
Yeah. I can see that.
That's where she stands for me as well.
I love Soul.
oh
It's my
yeah,
one.
she's still very enjoyable to play.
She's another character that I have like 5 stars on.
She's the
which
hottest
is a
god
lot
in
for
Smite, as we
me.
learned.
Considering. But yeah, I've played a lot of Smite 1 Soul, and she has easily the potential to be one of the most fun characters in the game. She's just missing a little bit of stuff right now, and that's okay, right? Because these characters are still getting changes. They're still getting better every single time. So all of these guys that you're seeing us not place higher doesn't mean they can't be fun or they're not fun in Smite 1. It's that they need some more help, need some more work, and we're gonna.
And also, realistically, there's probably at least 3 of them that you thought are way more fun than we do.
very biased takes here. Only bias.
Yeah,
Alright.
like this is a good example. I hate Susano. I hate playing Susano. I've never liked Susano.
There was a lot of
He would
debate
be-
about this character.
Your chalk is my Susano. Like I see this and I'm
Irrational.
like immediately just like I just throw him into E. I do not like.
I also don't really
I
like
recognize
playing
that's me.
Susano,
That's a me
but when I
thing.
do play him, I do enjoy him.
Okay.
So I think there's that level of, even if I don't play a god, like don't like to play them, I do enjoy playing them kind of tier. And I think that's where he sits like a C for me. Is like he
All right.
can be
Are
fun.
we counting Gore as E real quick?
I mean,
Because Gore said E.
I also,
I didn't
hey,
count my
I can
chalk, so-
I can justify a little bit of it.
So
Well, it's just if three people all agree, I think we just give them that
results
position.
kind of.
I would also say C, and
I think
there was a
it's
lot
right.
of debate around Susanoo specifically because there were some parts that didn't feel
Yeah.
the same as Smite 1, and Smite 1 Susanoo, you gotta
very
admit,
good comp.
hate him or love him, he's incredibly smooth to play. He
yeah.
is just one of the best feeling
Yeah.
characters
Oh yeah,
in the game. And
I
we
love
just didn't hit
watching
that
him
mark
when
with
we're casting. I
Yeah.
hate playing him and playing against him.
Yeah, there were just some aspects of him missing some of that like really core, just smooth gameplay,
finesse.
just not
Yeah.
quite
Yeah.
together yet. And that's okay, right? That's something that we can recognize here that we need to work on. And I think that him being in C is very fair for that point.
All right.
The difference between me and Lermy is that I E'd a god that was like a C tier. She E'd a god that
No,
was S tier
man.
for everybody else.
Oh man, Chalk is so mid. You guys are crazy.
I think there's just a couple of little miss points on current Susanoo that keep him from being a little bit higher up there. So I think C is for me is just a fair placement to put, just because he's not quite smoothed out yet.
All right, but what about Thanatos?
I don't think
you
I
guys
gotta-
left your mana at home. You've been playing. You've been hovering death. What do you think?
I'm a B.
I'm a good A tier on Thanatos.
Right now, when the god pool is so limited, I think he's a lot more fun because he gets countered a lot less. But when the god pool gets bigger,
No, I
it's
got,
gonna be a problem.
all right, here's what I'm gonna say.
Lay it
Okay?
on me, Gore.
Until he gets his Thanatos skin back, he's B tier.
Wow. Okay.
90%
would
of the
agree
fun
with
was
B.
running around and smacking people with a butter.
Yeah.
Anthony Mellon brings up a good point. 1,000 movement speed.
That's
time.
fixed. All right, that's fixed.
All right.
Yeah, he was fun.
I think,
I do.
I think B is fair.
Yeah.
I think he's an A tier.
Okay.
I like the removal
Charlie,
of
what
the
do you
mana. I think
think?
that's a cool change.
I'm indifferent about Thanatos, to be honest. As far as I'm concerned, I'd rather play Loki or Susanoo, and Fenrir as well, I guess. But Thanatos is still fun. I still like, healing and chunking and executing, but he's just not my favorite. He's never been my favorite, though. Even in Smite 1, it's the play style is... If I miss my scythe, like I've lost the
That's my
fight,
kit.
that's not my favorite
Most of
play
my
style.
games in Smite 1 for playing Thanatos, like a hefty majority of them, because there was like a period in season, like the end of season 1, season 2, where I
Oh.
actually played jungle.
Yep.
And then when I got Archon at the end of season 1,
Yeah.
I absolutely was playing me some
Oh, yeah.
Thanatos.
Thanatos.
And then when the Ruby Rose skin came out, I doubled
I
back
was
and was
playing
playing
a lot of
Thanatos
Thanatos when
again.
it was like the variety twig Thanatos time.
Yeah.
That was a really big, awesome
That was
meta.
good times.
All right.
But he's just kind of been like that guy.
Thanatos in
Kinda-
Smite 1 was the first god I ever mastered, and I mastered him by renting him with favor every single game.
Oh no.
And then I bought Arachne immediately afterward. Man, I went from cringe to cringe in that era. But
You
to
know
this
what?
day, I still don't even have like a rank 5 Thanatos, despite him being the first god I ever mastered.
By merits of the Morrigan being every god, I think that means simultaneously she's S and E.
Technically, you're right, but I will say, I've seen a lot of complaints about how much smoother the Morgan feels in Smite 2. That we haven't really
See-
seen game-breaking issues with her.
There is one thing that I do have to bring up, and this is something that I brought up internally as well. There are
The auto attack chain.
the auto attack chain was one thing. The
Okay.
second thing is that I play Morgan on everything instant cast except for her ultimate, which is on quick. So
Right.
one thing that I have done in Smite 1, and this was something that happened, I think, when we made the transition to console, where we have, sometimes you can hold down inputs and they still fire abilities. Sometimes you can just double press the input to fire the ability, things like that.
Right.
Morgan has an issue right now in Smite 2 where on some, input settings, and depending on like if you're playing controller or on mouse and keyboard, the way that I have taught myself to play Morgan on Smite 1 is I hold down my left click, push 1, and it auto fires the 1. And that doesn't work in Smite 2. So me fundamentally trying to play Morgan in Smite 2, I have to remind myself, click again, click again, click again. So that for me brings it down a lot because that's just a bug
Yeah.
that exists right now. But I think when everything there is fixed, like if we're saying this is assuming that there were no bugs.
Right.
A?
Okay. I want to say my piece real quick.
Yeah, say your piece.
I played a ton of Morgan in Smite 1, and her early clear is not the best if you can't use her AoE auto attack. And her 1 would never reset that. So you could go auto, use the 1, and then big auto, and then you could use your 2, and you would do all that. Now in Smite 2, it's not the same. So if you auto 1, you have to auto to get the big auto again, and that slows down your early clear, and it's probably not going to change much for people that didn't play her that much, but because I have so much built-in muscle memory,
Yeah, right. It's the muscle memory.
my clear is so much slower because I'm just throwing out random auto attacks and I never get the big auto and it ruins my melees. That's just my piece. Still very fun. Love how
those
she's
are things
feeling.
that are gonna get fixed.
Of course, that's why. That's my point. A for Lermy. I tend to say this BA range as well. J-Mac, you got an opinion on the Schmorgan?
I think A, and it's because we found the tech where you could blink mid animation.
Oh yeah,
with a stun.
that was good.
That
I
is
forgot
really
about
funny.
that.
That's a real fun piece of tech that we discovered on stream together, and I think that just gave that extra little nudge to like there's a level of depth to this character that hasn't been unlocked yet.
Yep, I agree with that. Gore.
I'll go A.
All right.
It is.
She
A
do
for the
good
Schmor.
damage.
Ymir.
S.
It's
Let's-
another bias for me.
There's no way you're saying Ymir's not fun,
I'm
Lermy.
saying Ymir's E.
What?
I am sorry.
Why do we let her work on Smite? What are you talking about?
I hate Ymir. I hate Ymir. This Ymir is way better than Smite 1 Ymir.
So much more fun than Smite 1.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I still hate him. I will never
Listen,
choose him.
Let me, for a second. If this was Smite 1 Ymir, we'd be in the same boat. I'd be like, he's boring, he's immobile, whatever. You get to zoom across the map. You're 2, you get to aim. You don't even have to hit the freeze to hit the
Say
2
E
now.
tier to this man right there.
Yeah.
You can go bonko mode. You could be a reader. You could be smart and
Master
intelligent.
Chief, what are you doing on that ship, sir? Doing bunko
I'm
mode.
sorry. I hate Ymir.
I love this god.
I mean, I do not get where you're coming from. Again,
Ymir is my
Smite 1
bottom 4 god.
Right, in Smite 1, we're in agreement. He's boring, he's immobile, he's meh. In Smite 2,
All
he's
right,
so
hold
different.
on.
He's
Wait a
a completely
minute.
different
No.
character.
I like him in Smite 1 too. It's just he's even better in Smite 2.
He is better.
Rocket jump, being able to move and turn your camera while
Yep.
casting your 2,
Yep.
your 3 being the way it is.
Crit.
Rocket jump is all I need to be sold for Ymir in Smite 2. And then
Agreed.
they said, hey, here you go. You can also move and turn your camera to him. Like, that's it. This is the guy now.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't
Okay.
like him.
All right, well, again, listen to what we say,
We
not
need
just
to get
the placements.
a gavel out here.
We have 3
Overruled.
we have 3 S tiers and 1 E tier. Last up, the Zeus juice. How you guys feeling about the juice?
This is an S for me. I
Bro's
love this.
been, bro can stun.
He's got movement speed. He's
Yeah.
got attack
He-
speed.
he's-
His combo is so sick. You can get to 3 so quickly.
Oh yeah.
He's a really fun support.
Well, that's a J-Mac original statement for sure.
Me, I would not say that.
When I'm biased to putting him in S because I did, whenever we had one of our first alpha tests, did say that I was going to become a one-trick Zeus support.
Okay.
And I played a lot of Zeus support.
I feel like I've seen you playing a lot of not Zeus support lately.
Well,
though.
recently, but that's
I don't
because
know.
Hecate came out, and I got to play some Hecate.
yeah.
All right, so that's 2 S's. Gore, where are you feeling?
Man, he is real fun.
Sure is.
And I do enjoy him more than I enjoy a lot of those gods that are in A,
Okay.
I think
which I think means he would be either the very tippy top of A or in S.
Well, if you say S, no matter what, we're going S. Is that what you want?
Well, Trelli, I want
Don't respond with, well, it's an yes or no question.
I think the thing that sold me on Zeus for Smite 2 versus Smite 1 is there's a very weird loop, and the loop has been adjusted enough in Smite 1 to where it still feels a little bit more fluid, but the fluidity of his second ability in Smite 2 compared to Smite 1 makes to where I don't feel like I'm on
Yeah.
a delay to do some of my other things. With
It just goes
Smite
up.
2, bam, pop that 2,
awesome.
I'm in the action. I'm ready to go. It gives him that level of
Yeah.
aggression that I do miss from like his OG days of Smite 1, because like his old days of Smite 1, you pop the 2, you walk into whatever hunter or assassin is coming up to you, and you just get free charges on them, and then you get to stun them, and then do 1,000,000 damage. Now it works
This
similar where
is
you
so
don't got to worry about it.
proactive.
I've settled on my A.
So you went A. Okay.
Where
well,
were you, Trellison?
I was gonna go more towards the A, but with Gore saying A, and I really think he thought about it too much, and I really think he wants to say S. So I'm gonna leave Zeus.
Well,
in S.
because I like playing him auto attack, and he's got his stun.
Yeah.
But like
Those are
when I
all
look
true
at when I
things.
look at everybody else that's in S, I can acknowledge that I like playing them more than I like playing Zeus.
I agree with that.
And in
as
my
well.
mind, he feels a little weird being up there. But I also do like him more than most of what we have in A too.
All right, so let's go bottom and top. Is there anything we want to change? And now we will do
Can we
left
move
to right.
Ymir to E?
No, we won't be
No.
doing that. In fact, I think
Anubis to S.
that's actually fair here.
Anubis to A.
All right.
I'll even take it down a
All right,
notch.
so
Anubis
no more moving up and down, left
Okay,
to
yeah.
right.
Left to right.
Left is the best, right is the worst.
Susanoo
over
moves
Odin.
up, yeah.
Susanoo
Oh.
moves forward.
Okay.
Sol moves up, and Thanatos moves up.
Cernanosai, same moves.
Yeah,
up.
Sol over Goo.
I think Bologna at the bottom for me.
I think, also Bologna at the bottom.
Bologna at the bottom would be, I think, Cern in third for me.
I would say
I like
Athena.
this.
I like
I think
this.
that's
like
fine.
this.
I,
like
think that's
this.
fine.
All right.
First bias, I move him up.
Neath got to go higher.
Yeah,
Fenrir
love
up.
me.
Loki got to go higher. Come
I don't
on.
think we can.
I
move
think
Loki
I think
higher.
Fen ahead of on her for me. I think Fenrir.
Oh, Fen. Okay, I thought you
Fenrir
said
above
Fana.
on her. Bach. My personal bias is Bacchus at the top of A. I think that's because he's my.
For
S
me,
tier, though.
Bacchus is the bottom of it.
I think third is fine. Yeah, I think.
We can only agree so much on these ones. So who's the worst? Who's
Chalk.
Athena.
Chalk, Athena, Gore?
Yeah, no, move the Morrigan up above both of them, but leave them where they're at. Like
I think
leave
that's
it
fine.
Athena, then Shock. I
Yeah,
think.
I think that's good.
Okay, and then who's the funnest guy on Smite
Ares,
2?
Ares for sure.
I think Hecate.
Ares,
And then Ares.
Ymir.
This is how I would do it personally.
I would say Hecate's Ares, but I think this is fine. I think it sits like this.
Yeah, I'm okay with this.
All right. So this is our list. Now, if you skip to the end of this YouTube video. I know there's people watching live. If you skip to the end of the YouTube video,
Don't.
first and foremost, tweet at us why you disagree. We'll tell you why you're wrong. I always say that. I haven't said that in a while. Second most, please go listen to the descriptions because none of these we 100% agree on except like Cuckoo, I think. Like there was a couple where
Yeah, Odin, we were all just kind of like, eh.
yeah, Ymir should be E if you're talking to some people. Hecate should be B. Just listen to the reasoning. And of course, remember, this is a fun tier list. None of these gods are boring and not fun. It's just the level of fun that which we have. And again, it is a scale of which some of us are a little bit indifferent on. But if you enjoyed this tier list, please let us know. We've got plenty more to make. There will be continued gods added all the time. But that is not the end of our Casual Friday, just the end of this segment.
but I know
After
what's
a
next.
quick break, I believe we're getting into some Lermpredy.
Yes.
Getting
Don't
bodied.
touch that dial. We'll be right back.